All right, so we'll go ahead and get started, everyone. I did see a question come in. I'll address really quickly. We are recording our webinar today, and we will make that available to everyone sometime after the webinar. But again, welcome. My name is Joe Reeder. I am Integrated Marketing Manager at Pi Insurance. We've got a great group of partners online, I see. I know you're all very excited to learn about Pi Commercial Auto and how you can win more. Support your clients with Pi and Ford Pro Insure. Before I hand things over to our panelists, I want to just call out, we will have time at the end of the presentation to answer any questions you may have. So please, at any time, please feel free to use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and type in any questions that you have. Our panel will have time to address those at the end of the webinar. So please keep that in mind as we go. So with that, let's go ahead and get started by first introducing our fantastic panelists we have today. So Jeremy, please go ahead and take it away.
Hey y'all, I'm Jeremy Stout. I'm part of the commercial auto team here at Pi, and I'm responsible for the product development, pricing, and underwriting.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kim Petrovich. I am your business development manager, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Samoro. I'm the manager underwriting at Ford Pro Insure. Nice to meet y'all. Thank you. Yes, so we're excited to partner with Pi to offer a better solution for commercial auto insurance for fleets of all types with Ford Pro Insure. Coverage is underwritten by the American Road Insurance Company, rated A Excellent by AM Best, and offered exclusively through Pi Insurance. Ford's Pro ongoing commitment to driver safety and fleet productivity provides the tools to help your clients focus on their business. I'll hand it off to Kim to discuss what you get with this new commercial auto product and how you can successfully meet your clients. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian. So as Brian mentioned, the American Road Insurance Company is rated A with AM Best. This means that we can write more than just Ford. So we can write any make and model. And Jeremy's going to get into the types of vehicles that we can write a little bit later in the presentation. With this, you have a dedicated underwriter and a great commercial auto team behind them. We offer a fast turnaround time when making any vehicle or driver changes. And we are currently in 5 states. So we recently added Wisconsin and Indiana for business, but we also write in Illinois, Tennessee, and in Arizona. We are planning on adding additional states this year in 2024 in the Northeast, the Southeast, and Southwest regions. Our goal is to ultimately be in all states, so watch for some exciting updates over the next few months. Jeremy is going to tell you more about the coverages that we offer.
Hey guys, so when we set out to develop this product, we kept with the principles that Pi established many years ago, and that we want to keep this as easy as Pi and make it simple for small business owners to be able to buy insurance, manage your insurance, and make it also easy for agents to be able to write and manage the insurance themselves. So we've kept it simple in terms of what we're offering. We kept it simple in terms of the online process that you have. And we're really aiming to get at a very sleek product that you guys can sell into the market very easily. We've also made sure that for those that have issues of getting a package policy, that we can do this monoline. It is a goal of ours to be able to service any and all commercial auto risks that are out there. We've limited our appetite a little bit up front, but at some point we do want to be able to go out and make sure that all small businesses have access to our coverage here. But there are some that are going to need a little bit extra. They're going to want a little bit something more than just a baseline policy. And so we've put in a few separate coverages, again, keeping it simple in mind, that really help broaden the coverage and provide extra value to your customer. So the first one we want to talk about here is our broad form endorsement. This is one endorsement that covers a multitude of different things. The highlights of this are we add in hired out of physical damage, we add in a blanket waiver, blanket AI, and there's also primary non-contributory language inside this endorsement. It's charged on a per vehicle basis, but it is available to any and all risks that are eligible for the program. The next one, in partnering with Ford, we really do have a commitment to making sure that we put the best vehicle back out into the road. It's an optional endorsement that you can buy for these vehicles, Fords, non-Fords, and it's really putting the original equipment that the manufacturer intended to be on that vehicle back onto the vehicle itself. We're really wanting to make sure that these vehicles are as safe as possible and that they are put back to the fullest extent that we possibly can. And then what we're looking for, and you're going to notice at first, you're going to look at it and say, oh, there's no trucking, there's no towing, there's no whole list of things that are there, but we've kept it simple on purpose. We're building a foundation on which we can build our product upon. We knew that when we started into this, if we tried to be something to everyone, we weren't going to be very good at any one of those. We were just going to be kind of marginalized through the spread. And so what we want to do is we want to get to these artisan contractors, mechanical contractors, all of the service classes in between. And we really want to build a solid foundation of rating, of pricing, of technological experience, of our servicing, and just of the product itself. And so for right now, we are keeping it to these classes that we have here in front of us, so just a small subset of them. And then with that in mind, we thought about, okay, we take these types of classes of vehicles or classes of business, what type of vehicles go with them? And so we think about box trucks and dump trucks and flatbeds. And so all of those that are in between there, we take those. We're staying away from the larger vehicles, and we'll get to more of those in a second here. But 99% of what you're going to see for the risks we're looking for and appetite, you're going to have a vehicle that's eligible for our policy. So cutting to the chase. What won't we want? It's really easy to start here sometimes. Simplest thing is for hire transportation, anything that requires a filing, whether it be state or federal filing based upon the risk itself, larger vehicles that require CDL, and any other just kind of gray market, odd type of vehicle that's out there. This isn't to say that we're not going to do new ventures or passenger transportation or for hire classes. It's to say that, again, going back to earlier, is that we know what we can be good at, and we're going to keep our sights on making sure we can create a great experience and a great product for those that come to the table. And then as we expand, we can do it for each individual one that's there. If we were to go in to do federal filings today, I can't guarantee you a great process because there's so many different intricacies that go a part of it. And I didn't think that it was going to be beneficial to anyone to provide a mediocre experience or product to the field.
So how do you get a quote? Well, very similar to your experience quoting work comp with Pi, quoting in our partner portal is easy as pie. This will be the simplest for fleets of 15 or less. Anything more than 15, you can send to our commercial auto team and we'll quote it for you. So we can accept accord forms, deck pages, and we have both a submission spreadsheet and a supplemental form available on the website listed below. Next, Brian is going to share a few quoting tips with you.
Yep, thanks, Kim. I'll talk about some tips for a fast turnaround and a complete submission. So, in addition to full application, always include the business name, address, DBAs. Garaging locations are important when rating commercial auto policies. A description of operations, complete list of vehicles, including VINs, private passenger, light, medium trucks, include any trailers. Complete driver list, including license numbers, dates, any known MVR violations, accidents. If you have a copy of the MVR abstract, please include that as well. 4 years of loss runs valued within the 60 days of the requested policy effective date. Now, this is one of the most important items, loss history, to obtain accurate pricing. So try your best to include claim history with all submissions. Even if it's older than 60 days, send it in. The underwriting team will at least get some line of sight. And if you're ready to bind, you can send in the current loss runs. Include requested policy limits and coverages. And also, the PI underwriting team has created a fleet submission worksheet. It's an excellent document. Please use it. It'll help facilitate submissions. Any questions? Get in touch with an underwriter. Doing business is really as easy as pie. Next slide, please. Yep, just some ways to save money. We offered a paid in full discount, telemat savings for enrollment, participation, policy modifications, driver safety, risk management programs. If your insured has a safety manual, we are building out our loss control services as we expand in multiple states over the next year. So a lot more to offer. Now I'll turn it over to discuss some key contacts. Thanks.
Okay. So here we've provided phone numbers and email addresses for you to reach out to our commercial auto team directly. You can always reach out to your business development manager with questions as well. We're all here to help you. So please don't hesitate to ask questions if you have them. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Joe to start our Q&A session.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Thanks all. So yes, if you have questions, please feel free to use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. We do have a number of great questions that have come in. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of those now. So one question that came up is when do we run MVRs in the quote process? Jeremy, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So right now, we are running MVRs at the end of the process. Once you give us the go ahead that you want to move forward and get to a binding stage for your quote, we will then order the MVRs. We'll take a look at pricing at that point with it. There may be no pricing change whatsoever based upon what's there. And then there also may be some acceptability decisions that have to be made depending upon what's on the MVR also.
And Jeremy, related to that, is there a chargeback to the agent for MVRs?
Not at this point.
Perfect. Jeremy, maybe this is best for you too. Is there a minimum vehicle requirement to quote?
We are at this time not taking any single vehicle submissions, but we will quote anywhere from 2+.
Right. And let's see. Here we go. Will we consider snow plowing contractors?
We'll consider a snowplow contractor when we're thinking about it as ancillary to typically a landscaping business. We want to be able to understand that exposure. What types of snowplow are they doing? Are they doing highways? Are they doing commercial parking lots? Are they doing residential? All those different pieces will be something that underwriters will be looking at when they're reviewing the account. But we can do snow plowing contractors.
Great. Thank you, Jeremy. Another good question here. How many years of prior coverage do you need to quote?
If they are brand new to the industry, we're staying away. So new ventures for someone who has just started a business that they have no experience in, or bought a business they don't have any experience in, we're staying away from those new ventures. But for example, if you have a plumber who's worked for, let's say 5, 10, 15 years for somebody in the plumbing business, and now wants to start out on his own, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you, Jeremy. And then a few folks asking if there are plans to offer this product in California.
There are plans. I can't give a date as to when. California is a tough state, which is why you guys are asking for it. We've got a few other states I want to knock out before I attempt to make a California product.
But ultimately, the goal is to be in all states, right?
Ultimately, goal is to be in as many states as we possibly can. Absolutely.
Perfect. Let's see. And then let's see. Can you add can you include additional insured status and primary non-contrib contributor?
Is that question towards the bottom? I can try to find it and look at it.
It is, yeah. So, and then I do see a couple questions in here, asking if this recording will be shared, and the answer is yes. We will, share this out, at some point soon, shortly after we finish the webinar.
So we include the additional insured status under the broadened endorsement, which comes with a blanket AI. That is the only place at this time to get your primary non-contributory language is through that broadened endorsement.
And can an additional insured endorsement be added to your auto?
Yes.
Perfect. And then let's see. Let's see. Are bucket trucks eligible?
Bucket trucks, when you're thinking about tree trimming or even power line maintenance, would be acceptable. Trucks that are specifically just that type of truck. So think of a very large crane truck that its only purpose is to go from one location, be a crane, and go to another location, be a crane. Many of these bucket trucks are carrying, like the smaller ones with your like international 4300s, are carrying other tools. They have other purposes for them, and that's just an added feature of the vehicle. Those types of bucket trucks are acceptable.
Thanks, Jeremy. And then I see a question. A couple folks are asking if we could please summarize which states commercial auto are available in, or commercial auto coverage is available in now.
Yep. So we have Arizona, Illinois, Tennessee, Indiana, and Wisconsin are the 5 active right now. Joe, do we want to talk about what's next?
Yeah, do you want to share what regions? I know Kim hit on it, but I think maybe which regions in the US we're planning to move to next.
Yeah. So in the first part of April and then the first part of May or June rather, we're going to be heading into 2 Northeast states. One of which is not New Jersey, for those I've seen asking about New Jersey, and it's also not New York. Those are on the list later. Just one of those of building a good foundation. It's not a good time for us to attempt those.
Let's see. And can you expand more on dump truck risks?
Dump truck risks by themselves, the sole purpose of the business is to provide a dump truck operation, will not be something we'll be willing to consider at this point. Dump trucks that are part of a landscaping or contracting risk that are kind of ancillary to the business and are under 26,000 pounds are ones that we're operating right now.
Perfect. How about, is there a bundling discount?
There is not a bundling discount right now. If you have the PI workers' comp, we at this point do not offer that discount.
And let's see, if we have a client that's based in our state but does service travel in a state that PI is not in yet, can we write them?
All depends. Every risk is different. It's an underwriter's caveat every time, but the general basis is if you live in Memphis, for example, you live in Memphis, operate in Memphis, there's anticipation that you may go into Arkansas, Mississippi, and do some business there. Those are fine. We don't want to get in situations where the garaging of the vehicle is across multiple states on one policy, and we are limiting how far we want the risk to go at this point. So right now, the guideline is 200 miles is our max radius.
How about to be eligible for an umbrella, is the carrier A-rated or better?
Yes.
Perfect. And then are there any updated product guideline sheets or flyers available? I'll go ahead and take that one, I guess. So we do have underwriting guidelines and appetite information on our website, on the Pi website, and in addition, when we share this recording, we can also make sure that with the recording there are links to those resources as well.
Joe, I've been staring at one for a little bit. Are there driver
Please.
age restrictions under 25 or over 65? They're not at this point. We will accept anyone with a valid license.
Perfect. And then do you consider buses not for hire?
No. Transporting of people, whether for hire or not, we will stay away from them.
Let's see. Jeremy, you see any others on here?
Let me scroll a little bit down. Someone's asked about North Carolina. It's on the to-do list. I'm in North Carolina. I want to do it. We will get to it for sure.
And
So Ron's got a follow-up question to the minimum years experience. There is not a minimum that we require. It's just the qualification of if they are a new venture that is new to the industry, we won't want to consider that risk. But new ventures, for those who have experience in the industry, we're okay. Hopefully that answers the question there for you.
and then question, are you going to be able to accept drivers with no license or international licenses, including the fact to offer full coverage to those vehicles?
Unfortunately, it's a no to both questions.
Right. And then let's see. I think Jeremy, do you just want to hit on trucking risks? If Pi will entertain business auto submissions for trucking risks.
We will not. Any type of transportation risk, whether it be for hire or for not, we are not considering right now. It is just kind of the theme here. It is on a to-do list. It is later down the line as we gain states for the product. We will, at that point, as we gain traction and gain understanding of how our book is performing, we will then begin entering into other types of industries that are out there. So anything that's for hire, delivery, transportation, we're not going to be able to consider.
There's a question on food delivery. Jeremy?
That would fall into a very similar bucket to transportation for higher risks. It would not be eligible.
Perfect. And then another one, I believe we covered bucket trucks. We talked about trucking risks. How about is Oklahoma on the plan for 2024?
Yes. Just a little bit later this year. Yes, David, we are offering symbol 7, 8, and 9 standard. We offer symbol 1 as well. So we have all of the different types of coverages you would want for your risks.
Well, and then the message, are you going to be able to offer 1 mil coverage? Also, will be any auto offered?
Yes, so 1 million is probably 90% of what's quoted and sold with us right now. And we do any auto on those risks. An underwriter will review the coverage for it, but they will certainly, it is certainly available for you. Absolutely.
Um, and then there is a commission question here, so maybe we can take that. Uh, Kim
Yeah,
can follow up
everyone.
with you on that.
Yeah, that one's hard without knowing the agency.
Yeah, we could follow up with you separately on that. And then let's see. To clarify, what if the business auto is associated with a not-for-hire company, i.e. an office vehicle?
Yes, so Noah, we have risks on the book that are service vehicles for transportation companies. They are sedans, light trucks, all sorts of things like that, where it is clear that they are not part of the trucking operation. We have written those before.
Perfect. And then what's the loss history threshold? Meaning, will you consider risk with losses?
That is all underwriter discretion. It's hard to say what the absolute threshold is. I made the comment to our underwriters today that it's a little tongue in cheek that we're not a rehab facility. So someone who's had a great deal of losses to where they're coming in and searching for coverage, we may not be a great place for it, but having a loss or even a few losses is not going to be an automatic kick out for us.
Perfect. And then a couple of just questions on states that we're planning to roll out. I think the answer again is, we're looking to be in as all states that we possibly can be. It's difficult to say exactly a date for a specific state because there's a lot of different variables that go into that, obviously. But Jeremy, if there's anything you want to add there, obviously we're excited to grow into additional states, and we'll certainly be keeping our partners updated as we go with all the information that we're share. Again, we're excited to grow and share that as we have those details. So we got a minute left. Great questions, y'all. Really appreciate it. Is there anything else? Any other questions with a minute to go? When it comes to the business auto stuff, how are you differentiating that? I'm not sure.
Business auto stuff. No, you're getting into the class of philosophy of how do you differentiate a regulated commodity that has to be bought and sold. For me, I don't want this to sound hokey because it's truly a belief. You can ask almost anyone. I truly have a belief in making sure that we deliver on the promise that we are providing with our contract. It's a contract, but realistically, we're providing a promise to take care of someone in the event that something happens. And so, in that same line, my mind is provide great service, provide a great claim service. One of our best selling opportunities is to provide great claim service. And making sure that we have the tools available to our partners and to our insureds to be able to understand and know what's going on with their insurance at any one point in time. So from a differentiating piece, that's a tough one to answer, but hopefully I gave you a little something.
Cool. And quote turnaround time. Jeremy, you want to speak to that quickly?
Yeah. So for quote turnaround time, we are looking to get back to you with an underwriter asking questions, providing a quote, any type of communication back to you, starting the process for binding and quoting within 24 hours. We have a dedicated staff here that's growing, and they they actually thrive in providing that service to y'all and having that connection with the agents that they are working with in their states.
Perfect. And how about last question here? Noah's asking if he said, I apologize for being unclear, if it's titled or registered to the company but not used for hire purposes. Where does that fall?
That one's probably best left to an individual situation. It's hard to get to every little nuance in a short Q&A that we have here. It doesn't sound outside the box, but I wouldn't want to give a definitive answer without just kind of looking a little bit closer at an example.
Perfect. And Charlotte, we'll take your question offline there. That's specific to your situation there. So we'll follow up with you offline about that one. But I just want to thank everybody for joining us for our commercial auto webinar and your questions. Lots of great questions. So again, thanks for your time, and we look forward to working with y'all. Have a great rest of your day.